The Anatolian seed Gülen's early vision. In the 1970s in Turkey, Fethullah Gülen started his journey. Inspired by Said Nursi, a famous Islamic scholar, Gülen developed his own ideas about modern Islam. He believed education could help people and communities. He talked about tolerance, hard work, and talking with people of different faiths. Many people, especially in Turkey's growing middle class, liked his ideas. Gülen believed faith meant helping others. This idea, called Hizmet, which means service in Turkish, became very important to his followers. Inspired by Gülen, his followers started schools across Turkey. These schools were known for good teaching and strong values. Gülen believed knowledge was important for people and society. He thought learning about many things was important for good thinking and understanding different cultures. Many families liked this because they wanted a better future for their children. Spreading wings Hizmet's global expansion. The Gülen movement grew quickly outside of Turkey. Hizmet schools started in many countries. From Central Asia to Africa, the Balkans to the Americas, these schools helped people from different cultures learn about each other. Gülen's followers also started businesses, news outlets, and cultural groups in many places. They all believed in being good and helping society. Talking with people of other faiths was important to the movement. Gülen believed this was important for peace in the world. Hizmet groups organized meetings and events for people of different religions to talk to each other. An uneasy alliance, Gülen and Erdogan's early years. Around the year 2000, Fethullah Gülen and Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey's new leader, started working together. Both wanted Islam to be more important in Turkey. Erdogan saw Gülen's many followers as helpful to him. Gülen saw Erdogan as someone who could help his vision for Turkey, but their alliance wasn't strong. Erdogan didn't want anyone to challenge his power. Gülen, even though he wasn't a politician, had a lot of influence. This uneasy situation would eventually cause problems. Cracks in the facade, seeds of discord emerge. Gülen and Erdogan's good relationship didn't last long. As Erdogan became more powerful, he didn't like anyone who disagreed with him. The Gülen movement, with its strong beliefs, became a problem for Erdogan. In the early 2010s, problems started. Erdogan saw the Gülen movement as stopping him from making Turkey the way he wanted. He didn't like their influence. Gülen, living in Pennsylvania, continued to talk about democracy and tolerance, but Erdogan started saying bad things about the Gülen movement using the news. The rupture, corruption charges, and the Gülenist purge. In 2013, things changed between the Gülen movement and Erdogan. An investigation about corruption involving people close to Erdogan became a big problem for the Gülen movement. Erdogan said the Gülen movement was behind the investigation. Many people who worked for the government were fired. News outlets and schools were closed. Many people in Turkey thought Erdogan was just trying to stay in power. The Gülen movement, once respected, was now called a terrorist group. A nation divided, the shadow of the 2016 coup. The failed coup in July 2016 caused more problems in Turkey. The government said the Gülen movement was responsible. Gülen, still in Pennsylvania, said he had nothing to do with it. After the coup, the government arrested many people. Anyone who disagreed with Erdogan was in danger. Exile and aftermath, Gülen's final years and legacy. Fethullah Gülen, living in Pennsylvania, watched as his movement was attacked in Turkey. He stayed in contact with his followers online. Gülen's followers saw him as a good leader. Erdogan said he was dangerous. Gülen died in 2024. He left behind a complicated story. His ideas about education and helping others are still important to many people, but his movement is still facing problems in Turkey.